In the final days before the election, Donald Trump is trying to sprint across the finish line, going to state after state, giving rally after rally, and of course being his usual entertaining self, while delivering that positive message of fixing all of the problems that Kamala Harris and Joe Biden caused over the last 3.5 years. And contrasting that with the Kamala Harris campaign, where she's doing call-in interviews and maybe one event every other day, it seems like she has really lost momentum, lost excitement, and of course the only thing she's willing to talk about is how awful Donald Trump is, how he's a Nazi and a fascist, etc. Okay? But Donald Trump, he is still being chipper, and as a matter of fact, at his latest rally, he donned an orange worker's vest in response to Joe Biden calling all of his supporters garbage. And of course, his description of how this all went down is comedic gold. And of course, this is a reason why Donald Trump is so popular with his supporters. It's his timing. Check this out. But before we get to the clips, please like and comment on this video so we can break through the algorithms. Here we go.
I'm in this beautiful plane. I'm enjoying myself. I have a wonderful suit on. And one of my people came in and said, "Sir, you know, the word garbage is the hottest thing right now out there. The hottest thing out there. Sir, would you like to drive a garbage truck?" Now, we're about, 30 minutes from landing. We had to do this pretty quick. I said, "It's sort of cool, though, isn't it? Because, And I said, I think that's okay, but, I don't feel comfortable wearing a suit." And they pulled up this garbage truck. I don't know how the hell they did it so fast. I have very capable people. They put a big sign on the truck. Did you see it? I think they showed it to you. Yeah. And then they said, "Sir, we have a vest." I said, "Well, should I leave my suit on and put it over the vest? But that doesn't look very good, right? That doesn't look good." So I said, "All right, look, let me take it off." And then I actually said, I climbed into the truck, but so I said, "How the hell do you get into this truck? It's way up high. It's a big one." This was a beauty. I said, "You didn't have to buy it that big, right? You have to get it that big?" They brought this brand new, gorgeous truck, wonderful driver. He looked like Cary Grant in his prime. You know who that is? This beautiful driver. And he drove that big thing up. And I said, "Man, this is bad, because now I have all the cameras are all watching. Look at all the fake news. They were most of them." No, most of them. Many of them were there, and I'm saying, "Oh, boy. One little mistake with these guys and your political career's over. You can't even..." So I said, "Man, if I don't get up there, this is going to be very embarrassing." These stupid people, they'll say, "He's cognitively and physically impaired." And I can't do that when I'm alongside of this great athlete. I got to get up to that. So look, the first stair is like up here. I'm saying, shit. So I had the adrenaline going, and I made it. I made it. And then I gave a little news conference from the front of they asked their wise guy questions and everything. And then we drove about 2 feet. I got out, got into the plane. And then I got in the car, and I'm driving over here, and I have this still on. And I come into the arena, and I say, "Where's my jacket? I want to get out of this thing." And they said, "It would be unbelievable if you could wear it on stage." I said... And I said, "No way. I got 25,000 people standing outside. I got all these people here. There's no way I'm wearing it on stage." They said, "Oh, okay, sir." I said, "Get me my jacket." But if you did, it actually makes you look thinner. I said, "Oh." And they got me. I said, "I want to wear it on stage." When they said I looked thinner, I said, "In that case..." I'll wear it on stage.
So I love how Donald Trump actually leans into this. Yes, we know this is a gimmick, right? This whole thing is a setup because Joe Biden was stupid enough to call all of Donald Trump's supporters garbage. So Donald Trump's team, they get a huge garbage truck. They put his name on the side. They put him in a vest. They put him in the truck. And Trump's like, hey, that's a big truck, right? This whole event is insane. And everyone knows it's simply a photo op, but it's also the biggest troll you could possibly imagine, right? You calling us garbage? Well, guess what? I drive the garbage truck. And then he continues to wear the vest for the entirety of the rally, right? Because it makes him look thin. I mean, the man is hilarious, right? And this, as I said, is why people love him. He's authentic. He's willing to joke around. Can you imagine Kamala Harris doing anything spontaneous like this? No, she just breaks out into cackles and calls Donald Trump and all of his supporters fascists. All right, that's basically her MO. And of course, speaking of fascists, we have a very interesting exchange between Cenk Uygur and Anna Kasparian over on the Young Turks. Check this out.
And he wants to start internment camps. And that's what we are busy talking to every voter. He's telling you what he's going to do. Believe him.
Internment camps?
Yes, he has talked internment camps. You know what, Jake? You may have to visit me in one. I get worried enough when he talks about what he's going to do to his political enemies.
So when Debbie Dingell says he's going to start internment camps, he never said that. That is not helpful. On that, you're 100% right. Because once she says something that he didn't say, then not only the right wing, but independents will discount every other thing you've said. Not just every other thing you've said, but every other thing that anyone on the left has said. He never said internment camps. Don't say that.
Look, if we're just going to use fascist toward anyone we dislike, all right, then the word doesn't actually mean anything.
Okay, what do you want me to say, Anna? You want me to say wannabe dictator?
Sure, you can say wannabe dictator, but I don't even think he wants to be a dictator.
Of course he does. That's what you do when you lose an election and you go, oh, I got fake electors and I'd like to terminate the Constitution and bring out the tanks and use martial law against American citizens and shoot protesters. I mean, if that's not fascist, then I guess the word just shouldn't exist.
But was he able to do those things?
First of all, his entire cabinet had to threaten, not cabinet, administration, his White House team had to say, we're all going to mass resign if you roll out tanks against American citizens.
Okay, so if you think he's a fascist, wouldn't that justify taking physical action against him?
No, because that doesn't help. That devolves us further into fascism.
Yeah, exactly.
But there's a difference between somebody shooting someone, that's fascism, and saying, I disagree with them. Don't elect a fascist prick who says only white people are awesome and everybody else is garbage and should be banned. No, look, I'm not gonna take a chance with a monster like that.
I know, you're focusing on whether or not you're gonna vote for him. I don't give a damn about that, and that's not what I'm asking you about, Cenk. I don't think that this rhetoric, especially from elected members of Congress, is helpful at a time.
I don't agree.
Okay, all right.
Okay, Anna, why do I not agree? Because, so Trump's helpful's rhetoric?
No, his rhetoric is awful.
Okay, if you don't want to be called fascist, stop saying fascist things. It's not that hard.
Okay.
Not that hard. Oh, here, let me have dinner with Nick Fuentes, who's a Nazi, Kanye, who's a Nazi, and let me say there's good people on the Nazi side. Oh, it could be pro-Confederate guys. Might be guys who are pro-slavery who are good guys. Let me do all of these things. Let me say that immigrants are poisoning the blood of our nation, a Nazi term that is only used in the past by Nazis, and then say I'm going to ban Muslims, I'm going to do this and this and this to all the other ethnic groups, and then go, oh, I can't believe you called me a fascist. No, he is a fascist.
So in the same segment, in the span of just a few moments, Cenk Uygur actually gets upset at people making fake accusations against Donald Trump, and then he himself turns around and makes fake accusations against Donald Trump, right? Oh, he wants to shoot protesters. No, he wants to be able to quell violent riots where people are out there killing each other and burning down buildings, all right? There's a huge difference between protesters and riots and using force to stop one of them. And of course, also, only white people are good? Holy crap, Cenk, if you had that on tape, you should release it right now because that would make him lose the election. You are completely insane. And of course, oh, he wants to have his Muslim ban. No, he was stopping incoming flights from individuals from certain nations that were actually terrorist hotspots that were designated designated so by Barack Obama. So you are completely insane. And honestly, I don't care for Anna Kasparian's defense of Donald Trump not being a fascist or wanting to be a dictator. She basically kind of accepts that everything that Cenk just said is actually true, and then saying, well, it actually didn't happen, right? No, you just start with the premise that everything you said is false, okay? And then you make your argument. You can't accept the craziness of the left, which of course she's learning at a very slow pace, all right? And the interesting thing is that all of these fascist Nazi attacks are falling on deaf ears and no one's buying into it anymore.
Left as the enemy from within. That's not how he's using that term. He's using that to describe the people who stole his first term from him by the Russia hoax and the BS impeachment.
And also shot him.
The constant undermining. And the people who shot him. The people who have made it their mission to try to get him impeached or indicted and unleash lawfare against it. Every sane person gets that. But it's been amazing how the media has just refused entirely to even try to stay factual on what he actually said. And I do think it's one of the reasons why it isn't working. But for me, it all comes back to, and we'll drop this in later for the YouTube audience, there was that shot behind the scenes of the Karine Jean-Pierre staff, the comm staff at the White House. And it was your worst nightmare of like all DEI hires. Like these young women who looked like they were about 14, with all due respect to 14-year-old women, they should not be deciding White House messaging. Every, racial group, whatever. It was very clear they were looking for a panoply of colors and sexes and blah, blah, blah. And there's zero chance these people had enough life experience to actually be running White House comms and coming up with messaging on the most serious issues of our time. And I guarantee you, those are the people who've transferred over to her, or her team looks exactly like that.
100%.
And they're deciding Hitler's the way to go. Fashion's the way. They don't understand these middle Americans who are perhaps a little bit more mature, have had some life experience, have lived through a bunch of elections where these kinds of terms get thrown around about Republicans only, and they don't believe this crap.
When these words get thrown around, they lose all meaning. And of course, what's going to happen when someone actually is a horrible, terrible despot? What are you going to call them? Because you've called everyone else who's just your normal, average, everyday American a Nazi, a fascist, etc., right? What are you going to do, and who's going to believe you, all right? But of course, this is all common sense to you and me. So thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe, and stay safe out there, people, because they're coming after you.